I'm Dana, and welcome to a vlog of just a very extremely ordinary, normal, boring day in my life. Because I feel like this is the type of content that I want to see, so hopefully you guys do too. Because as an autistic person, obviously, I need routine. Like, I desperately need routine, or everything feels so awful for me. And honestly, even with routine, a lot of things still feel awful. So I very much stick to what I do, you know? And I quite often get really down on myself because I don't feel like I'm doing enough or doing the right things. You know, like, you'll see people that are like, oh, I couldn't just live the same day over and over. And I absolutely do. Like, I do feel like sometimes my life is just Groundhog Day. You know, I do the same thing every single day. And I don't like it when things change. I don't like it when things I'm not expecting to happen. And trying to connect that as an autistic person, maybe that's just what I need and how I feel best, with the idea of that's how society sees it as a negative and a really bad thing, when I think that is just something that I need. But I still get real mad at myself and really annoyed. And it's especially dumb because I definitely have issues with feeling like I'm not productive enough. And you guys have probably heard about this before from me, but I also, I desperately have to be productive every single day. I don't remember the last time I had a day where I didn't do something, you know? Like, when people talk about having lazy days where they just sat and watch stuff, I'm like, I am an avid media consumer. I'm watching stuff all the time. Like, in this vlog, I just finished Deadwater Fell, I think, and I'll later move on to a new show. Like, I'm constantly consuming media, but I use it as like a treat or a transition. So like, I watched that episode in between having woken up and sorted my bed and sorted the cats and, you know, done my morning routine. And then that was my little break up to get to the next part and be able to edit my video and like do the productive stuff. And it's one of those things where I shouldn't feel this constant anxiety of not being productive enough when I am literally doing stuff every single day, but I still don't feel like I'm doing the right things, you know? I feel like I need to mix it up more and get out more. But it's also a case of like, I see friends probably once or twice a week lately. I say lately, I mean for the last like 6 months to a year. I probably see people once or twice a week. Like, people I genuinely enjoy being around, people I like, you know, I want to hang out with them. But that also takes recovery days. But I also don't give myself recovery days because that would be a day of not doing anything. And that would mean that I haven't been productive. And that would mean that my life may as well be over and I hate myself. On this day, I felt quite good about myself because I got a lot of editing done. I did my morning routine. The house was clean and tidy. I should be absolutely fine. But I constantly just feel like I'm not worthy, like I'm not good enough, like I'm not doing enough. It's a constant struggle. It's always in the back of my mind. And now that I'm talking about it in a video, because I very much do use these as therapy, I feel like so much of it comes from my past relationships and my family growing up, and the constant, I was always told that I was lazy, that I just couldn't be bothered, that I just needed to grow up, all of that kind of stuff. Because, I'd get home from school and be completely exhausted because I'd had to mask all day and been bullied and just had a horrible time. So I went from that to living with my ex-partner, and I've never had enough control over my anxiety to be able to work a job. So he was paying for everything and I did all of the house stuff. I kept the house super clean and nice and tidy. I cooked his meals. You know, I was pretty much the perfect little housewife, to be honest. And he'd still come in and be like, you forgot to hoover the stairs, you're so lazy, you really just can't be arsed, can you? You really just don't do anything all day. Like, literally, what do you do all day? You know, it was horrible. And I've definitely internalized a whole bunch of that. I'm going to sort my dishes now, but I do not have the mental ability to do it without listening to music today. So you're not seeing me do it because I can't film on my phone while also playing music from Spotify on my speaker. Do you feel? So yeah, I'm doing my dishes though. Obviously, having done all of that and sorted all of that, it's time for my little special interest break. And I actually filmed this vlog intentionally, so some bits of it I do speak. I've spent a little bit of time on TikTok about brainstorm some future video ideas. My videos are scheduled / posted to where they need to be. So Otis is having a wash, so you're shaking. But that means that I have done the things that were most pressing because that video needed to be up to date. There's a speck of dirt on my desk that I need to clean. I've cleaned it. So yeah, I feel like I can treat myself now, and I've just finished the last episode. Not just, you saw me finish it this morning before I edited the last episode of Deadwater Fall, and I feel like that's acclimatised me now to David Tennant being a murderer. So I tried to watch Des back when it came out, but there's a bit right at the start where Daniel Mays walks in and like to an 80s police station, and all the little mank 80s cops are like, oh, right, Gov. And I was like, he's not the Gov, okay? He's not the Gov. Ashes to Ashes fans will get me. I didn't like it. It really like fired up my autism, and I was like, I can't watch this actually. So I haven't seen Des yet, and I feel like I only have like 4 or 5 things David Tennant's done that I haven't seen, you know? So I'm just gonna catch up and watch it now, I think. Only the first episode though, because I only have enough soy milk for 1 more cup of tea, so I do actually need to go shopping. I also have like no food in. I also don't have money, so I'm in a whole financial situation. It's life. We've got to buy food still, so I'm gonna try and juggle that about and see how that goes. I'm not looking forward to it. So I'm gonna treat myself and prep myself by having a wee episode of Des, and then we're gonna do that. A lot of my like, I feel like the laziest person also comes from the fact that my main special interest is TV shows and movies. And obviously it's the whole like interconnectedness of me only mostly going for ones that have actors that I really love in them. But a lot of people will look at that and just be like, you watch movies all day, you are so lazy. And it's not like that, you know? Like if my special interest was crocheting or painting or something, people would show that a lot more respect. And there are things that I do as well, but they're not my main thing, so they just sort of, you know, I've always been told that I'm lazy for how much TV I watch and that I should watch less, and it does make me feel bad. I did my shopping. Can't be arsed going for a walk, to be honest with you. That's just how it is now. Yeah. Completely honest. There is also a hell of a lot of escapism to it, because as much as I try to like maintain a positive outlook on things and try to be grateful for what I have, because obviously I have food, I have running water, like I have lots of stuff that lots of people in the world do not have access to, and it would be really fucking horrible to be one of them, quite frankly. I am lucky in a lot of ways and privileged in a lot of ways, and I know that. But also, I don't like myself as a person. I don't like my fucking life. Like, just being in existence as an autistic person with no money and very little support, it's a tough fucking life. And I try to like, you know, I do the whole like, oh my God, I'm so privileged. I have so many good things. It's like, yeah, I have lots of nice things. But also, my day-to-day life, I find so incredibly difficult. And sure, some of that is just the fact that I'm an autistic person. Some things are always going to feel kind of tricky and difficult and hard. But also, I would feel much better as an autistic person if my house wasn't falling down around me. You know, if I didn't have to mop up every time I flush the toilet. If there weren't bricks just falling out of my house and smashing in the yard. If there wasn't mould in my room. You know, there's a lot of things that I would feel better about. And similarly, a lot of the time when you see me go on my little walk, it's because I can go on a walk across the park and buy myself a bit of cake. I can't afford to buy myself a piece of cake right now. Like, I don't get paid for several more days. And I don't have any money. I can't afford to buy myself anything, you know? Like, I need wipes for, like, the cat's litter trays and everything, and they're just gonna have to wait. I don't have the money, you know? As much as I try to maintain a positive outlook and everything, the reality is that that positive outlook is a load of bollocks. And I don't like my life. I don't like the way that I have to live as a person. I don't particularly enjoy being alive. So yeah, forgive me if I want to watch things like Last Night in Soho and shit with David Tennant in and escape from this absolute hellhole that I live within. Like, sorry about it, but also, I'm not sorry in the slightest, and I really, really need that shit. Honestly, like, I have watched so many TV shows and movies, like, every single day since I was, like, very young. Like, since I was in the early years of high school, like 13, 14 was when I started being like the person that every single day I watched like a movie or a TV show. And I'm not talking like I watch an episode of a show before bed. We are talking like 5+ episodes of a TV show, if not just the entire season, depending on what it is, you know? Like, I consume so much media, and forgive me if that's because I can actually find some sort of joy in life, you know? I don't feel like it necessarily is just a special interest. The special interest side of it is that I go for the movies and TV shows that have actors that I like, but huge majority of it is that I don't enjoy being alive, and I get to escape it by watching my little movies and TV shows and feel like a massive amount of it is also that I feel like I can connect better to people in movies and TV shows. I would much rather find a character that I love and go and read fanfics of them than go out and try and make a new friend, you know? I find it so hard to talk to people, and half the time it's not even worth it. Depressing. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to rant so much, but on to happier things. I loved Inside Man. I'm really sad it was Stephen Moffat, and I didn't realise until I started already praising it online, but I loved it. So this little end bit, we can end on an upside. Look how hot David Tennant is. Look, oh, I haven't had a David Tennant face in ages, but it had me looking like this. And this part here.
I'm a fucking vicar! Look at me! Look at me! I'm a fucking vicar!
Even watching it back now.
I'm a fucking vicar!
I'm a fucking vicar. Just like the inflection, the way he said it, like, had me absolutely howling. But that was such a good show. I really enjoyed watching it. And whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're having a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, because I'm going now. I lied because I need to tell you all to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I wouldn't bother on Twitter, honestly. I'm going to delete it soon, I think. You can also follow me on Patreon or Ko-fi if you want to donate money to me, and I would clearly really fucking appreciate it, but there's never any pressure. You don't have to, and I will actually be fine. I do this like every month. This is just my life, and I know how to deal and cope with it. So whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're having a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.